Hello, everybody, and look at who we have here today. We have some additional faces here with me today, and what we're going to share with you is some tips around how to increase your engagement on social media. So these amazing people here, these beautiful faces that I have with me, are some of the people, not all of them, but some of the people that I work really closely with in my VIP program. So we talk a lot about what we do on social media, how to build on social media, and things like how do you get more engagement from social media. Because the one thing we don't want with the activities that you do on social media is just put out content and not get any reaction. The algorithm is driven by engagement and conversations, and they're driven by the comments that are made underneath a post of yours, and then you ask a question and you get a little conversation going. That's engagement, and that's what the algorithm is driven by. So the more engagement that you can get from social media, the better off that you will be for more people seeing your content and just having some great conversations going on and making your efforts on social media worthwhile. So with me, I have Beth, Steve, Cherie, Teresa. We've got Yvette and Christina as well. So welcome, guys. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you've got your pens ready just to jot down these things, because these are things that we are using in our businesses to help us get more engagement. So I'm going to kick it off with what I want to share with you. And basically, it's very simple. So if you want to get more engagement on social media, you need to ask for it. And a lot of you don't. So you want to put engagement posts out there where you ask a question. You specifically ask a question. How many of you, if you're joining us live, say hello in the comments. Let me see that you're here. Put down in the comments section, how many of you put engagement posts out there deliberately, at least kind of like once a week? So something like, and it doesn't have to be business related. It could just be something like, I finished my last book. I'm looking for some recommendations. What's a book recommendation that you can share? That's called an engagement post. So you're asking a question and the people can engage. So you're asking for people to engage. When you do any kind of posts on social media, you write a little bit of a story perhaps, and then at the end you might put, what are your thoughts about this? Have you experienced something, like this before? I'd love your thoughts around this particular topic. So put a call to action at the end where you are actually asking for engagement. So just think about that in your stories, in your posts, content that you're putting out there. If you want people to talk to you on social media, ask them questions. Have I not already asked you a question and asked you to put the comment in the comment section from my question? I'm asking you to engage. If you do live videos, I could say to you, where are you watching from? Tell me, those of you that are live with me right now or catching the replay, where are you watching from? Put it in the comments. I'm asking for that engagement. This is probably one of the simplest that you can do to get more engagement, is being much more aware that people need to be told what to do on social media. And I find a lot of people sort of sit back, they put out content and they just wait. You just wait. Don't wait. Tell people what to do and ask for that engagement, and you might be surprised at the increase in the engagement that you get. So that's my tip for today. If you're new to this community, new to these beautiful faces, just to explain again, these are some of the faces that I work closely with in my VIP program. It's just a beautiful thing to watch these guys progress, in their businesses. But we're here to help home-based business owners, entrepreneurs. You might be in direct selling, social selling, all of those things. If you're in that kind of business and you want to do it on social media and leverage the internet to do that, you're in exactly the right place, and listen up to what we have to share with you today. So just saying hello to a few people. We've got Melinda here. We've got Jeanette. We've got a Facebook user. We've got Dana. Good to see you here. Tonya, thank you for saying hello to everyone. We've got Melinda from Edmond, Oklahoma. Dana, great tip. Yes, people need directions. They absolutely do. Thank you for your comment there. So we're just going to make this short and fast. We're going to give you our tips and then we're going to move on. So I'm just going to go to the next person that I can see on my screen, which is Miss Beth. So if you'd like to unmute, Beth, and give us your tip to increase engagement on social media.
Hi, everyone. Nice to see you all here. I think one of the most important things for me is increasing my engagement on social media is when I'm doing a live or a post or any kind of content is to really have a headline that captures your attention. I did a bit of research actually, and apparently 80% of your audience will read the headline, but only 20% actually read on. So we really need to have a headline that captures attention and so that we want our readers to move on, right? And I am learning that the more importance that you give to your headline, the better results that we can have. So you have to have some sort of headline or hook so they can be intrigued to move on. So whatever it is, whether it's a blog, a post, a live, a freebie, email marketing, whatever it is, we only have a few seconds to grab their attention because we know that social media is really, really busy and there's a tremendous amount of information out there, and we have to remember that our readers only have the attention span of about 3 seconds. So the first thing is the headline. You want to make that reader stop or back up even and say, what? What's that? What are they talking about? And stop that scroll. So one of the things I did the other day was we have a new product coming out, and I did this post, and my headline was, "Shh, I've got a secret." Just to kind of capture some curiosity, or maybe a shock factor or something. And even Helen's the other day when she said, "I didn't mean to end up in the hospital." People wanted to read on to find out what it was, eh? So those are really good headlines that capture people's attention and want to make your readers move on with your content. So I think that was one of the biggest things of increasing your engagement on social media. Thank you.
Awesome. Beth, I just want to pick up on a comment here. I'm not sure if it's Dana or Dana, so I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing that the wrong way. I'll just say both, so I'll cover you both ways. But thank you for your comment here because this is important, and I'm sure you're not the only one that thinks this. Headlines are hard for me, but the headline for this hooked me. So I've told you it was just one sentence that we're going to share with you tips to increase your engagement. And if you really listen to what we're all going to share with you, you'll get some little nuggets out of this. So you can tell people exactly what you're giving them if you know it's something that your audience wants. And I know all of you want more engagement. So easy one. Okay. But in relation to what Beth said, and I say this all the time on my trainings, we are inundated with information. There is information all around you. As soon as you get up and pick up your phone, you've got Facebook messages, you've got the social media, you're scrolling, you've got your email, you might be reading a newspaper, you turn on the TV. We are bombarded with information. So why should somebody stop and read your stuff? What is going to make people stop and read your content or listen to your live video? It is really, there's a lot of emphasis on those first sort of few words, like Beth was saying, the headline. So here's a strategy around it. Today, I've told you what I'm talking about because I know pretty much everybody in my audience wants more engagement. So it's quite easy. But don't necessarily tell everybody what it is that you're going to say. What I mean by that is it could be something like, this is a total game changer. I couldn't believe this happened. What I'm going to share with you today is going to blow your mind. These 3 tips could change everything for you in your business. And people are like, what? What's going to change everything for my business? Think about, this is a bit of copywriting skills, which some of you may not have mastered, and that's okay. But just listen to these tips and take it on board. So when you're writing your next post or putting your next description in a Facebook Live, have a think about the first lot of words that you're using. Is this compelling enough? And here's a really easy one to remember. What attracted your attention? So when you're scrolling social media, you're literally scrolling, but you should scroll with 2 pairs of eyes. So you've got 2, so that doesn't really work. But anyway, let me explain. One set of eyes is as a consumer, you're just taking stuff in for your own sort of entertainment or whatever. But the other set of eyes is your marketing eyes. looking at what other people are doing, looking at what grabbed your attention. If something stopped your scroll, why did it stop your scroll? What were the words that helped you stop your scroll? So when you're absorbing your social media, look with two sets of eyes, one to absorb just what you're absorbing anyway, but with a marketing pair of eyes in, oh, that's good. And screenshot it and put it in a folder in your camera roll. Or save it, like especially on Facebook, you can click the three dots and save it and put it in folders and save that post, those kind of things. So take real good notice of what stops your scroll. Mr. Steve, you're next on my screen. What have you got for us today?
Thank you, Helen. Hi, everyone. If I was to ask you, or if I was to tell you that I was into basket weaving, cow tipping, spearfishing, and yodeling, how would you ever know if I didn't tell you? Now, I'm not into any of those things, but if I were, knowing that there are 4 billion people on Facebook, I'm willing to bet that I'm going to find people who have those interests. The reason we want to talk about our talents, our passions, and our hobbies with those who are in our group or those who are on our friends list is because it gives us common ground. You may discover that there are people on your friends list right now, as I have, that have the same interests as I do. Like I sing, I like fishing, I like motorcycles, I like hiking. And as I started talking about these things, I discovered people that I've had on my friends list for a couple of years that were also into martial arts and that were also into the things that I'm into, including singing. So my message is share those hobbies, passions, and talents with your group. It gives them an opportunity to share and say, oh, Steve's into singing. So am I. Now you have common ground. And then when you ask a question, it's just they're going to almost feel obligated to say, man, I can't wait to talk about this one because I'm into this as well. So that's one message. And then the other message is I share my passions, hobbies, and talents with people on my personal profile. I share it on my stories so they have an opportunity to see, because they may not see it in my personal profile, but they'll see it in stories. Share it with people in your news feed and in different areas, including groups that you may have an interest in. Share it there as well, and you will get more engagement because they'll have something that they can relate with to talk about.
Love that, Steve. And basically what you're highlighting is human relatability. And we are in a relationship business. So yes, I know you all want to build, sell more of your stuff and join people into your team and those kind of things like that. But if they don't like you, if they don't relate to you, they're not going to buy anything off you. So the more you can share about who you are and what you enjoy and the things that you like, you'll find people that relate to you on the most random thing. Could be an interest of yours, like Steve mentioned, those ones in the beginning. But once you start the connection, then you can build on the connection, and that may turn into a business conversation. But you've got to get the human connection first. So some of you overthink your content when you should just be sharing more of who you are and what your interests are. So put more content out like that, because then you'll get people to relate to things that you enjoy. And, things that you share and inspiration and hobbies and those kind of things. You want as much human connection with people on social media as possible, because that's what starts the conversations. So awesome point. Thank you, Steve. Miss Cherie.
Hello. And as she said, my name is Cherie. And I want to give a tip here, and that's about being authentic. How important it is to be authentic and how that will actually help people to want to engage with you. People want to talk to people that are similar to them, that have relatability, that have something that draws them to that person. And, they can tell if the person is being real or not. A lot of times when people get on screen, say, okay, they become, and Helen has told us this several times, and I know I've done it. It's like you lose a part of what you're supposed to be saying because all of a sudden you become robotic and you're like, I am here, my name is, and I do the, you know, and it's just something that happens. But if when you think about it and you're thinking about being realistic, being authentic, like you're sitting in your living room talking to someone, talking to a friend, and you just want to share some information with them, some content, something that'll brighten their day or help them in some type of way, that to me is really, really important. And I'll give you something case in point. And this is just a little story of what happened with me one day. I was doing a live. I love going live. It's one of the favorite things, best things that I like doing. And I've always pretty much had, you know, for a while I didn't have like a backdrop, but then I decided I wanted a backdrop to cover some things that I was not willing to show at the time. And as I was doing that, someone actually came into the comments and they said, "So when are we going to hear you play that piano that you have in the background?" And they said that because the backdrop that I had was like a living room and it had like a big uh, baby grand piano over in the corner and, you know, other things. And it was just stuff that I liked. But then I found out that that's making people think that I'm, you know, that person. I'm the one that has that kind of capital or, you know, money or whatever. And I don't want people to think that. I want them to know me and get to know me as I am. And therefore letting them know that what they are and who they are is just as important as who I am. And it's okay to share, you know, some like part of my thing is over here because I moved it off to the side now as I'm rearranging things around. And my TV screen is behind me. So you can kind of see what's going on and you know that I'm real. You can hear that I'm real. And I just think being authentically who you are, you know, is really important. I don't wear makeup. To put on makeup and try to do that every day will probably kill me. Whereas other people, it's a routine for them. So it won't stress them out. You know, they put it on and come up and they look like a, you know, roses. They're beautiful. And so, you know, the same thing with me. I'm a t-shirt girl. I like to wear ponytails, you know, or, you know, and you know, I wear glasses and I don't really wear makeup. Every now and then I put on lipstick. But that's okay with me because my tribe is out there and they are going to want to come and hang with me if they see that I'm authentically being myself and I'm saying something that's reaching out to them. So basically, that is all I had to say. And wanting to put that in, that will help someone want to be engaging with you when you're being who you truly are.
Thank you, Cherie. Helen disappeared, so I'm not too sure what happened, but I'll just kind of chime in there.
I'm sure
Um,
probably does that.
Well,
oh,
I was
she's
gonna say,
she's back, I
there she
think.
is.
But yes, being authentic is really important, Cherie. So thank you for sharing that. And I'm going to let Helen take over now because she's back.
I'm actually hotspotting from my phone because my internet has completely died. So I don't know what's going on. I don't know if the weather triggered it or somebody had an accident. The power's not gone out because I've got lights, but I'm literally hotspotting from my phone. So I'm sorry about that, but I'm glad. I didn't know whether it kicked you all off or whether it was just me. So I'm glad it didn't kick you all off. So thank you for sharing, Cherie. I had no idea what you said, but it was awesome. So thank you so much. I know you talked about being authentic and I couldn't agree more. It ties in beautifully with what Steve said regarding sharing more about, you know, just more about ourselves because that's what's authentic. Don't be somebody on social media that you're not generally. Okay? Just be you because it's your biggest asset is being you. That's what makes you unique and what makes you stand out from the crowd is your authentic, unique, genuineness, flaws and all. If you're a little bit funny, show it. Seriously, if you swear, swear. I don't, it's not my thing, but there are people, but if that's part of your personality, let people see who you are because you'll find your tribe. Okay? So did we get around to Teresa yet? No. Okay. Teresa, are you there?
Hi, everyone. Sorry about that. I had to move from the house into my space because of the noise that my grandson was making. Anyway.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So what would you like to share with us?
Sorry?
what would you like to share with us about your engagement tip?
So I'm actually a newbie in this, but what I wanted to share was, I think the others before me kind of touch into, but really the engagement for me is just really to do me and be me. Again, as Cherie said, just being authentic and just being who I am, regardless of where I am or what spot, whichever spot I'm in, just do it. Just do my live videos and engagement posts. I also find that it is very important for a lot of my audience to hear it straight from me in my own native tongue. So if you can share that in your native tongue, that is another engagement for me as far as stories, live videos, and engagement and engagement posts. So I'm doing that now, and I'm finding more and more response from delivering in the native tongue. So again, it's just really do me and be authentic. Like Cherie said, I'm not a makeup person either. Every now and then, I can put lipstick on, but a lot of the time, this is me, the bun and the flower, and that's how I get people's attention. So really, that's what I wanted to share today is just do you, be you, and be authentic.
Yeah, and I want to point around that with Teresa specifically, like when she's done live video challenges, before, and just, talked, just really being genuinely, authentically herself with the flower in, which attracts attention and stuff like that. She's got more engagement when she's been regular with live video, and I've been on calls with people that have complimented her because of that. Like, I love your live videos and everything that you share and whatever. People are interested in what you're up to, even though you think you might be boring. Every one of you. So many people say to me, I don't put much in my stories because I don't go anywhere. I stay at home. Who cares? Are you offering on training, or you're watching something? You can inspire somebody. You can, if you've got an animal or a hobby, or it doesn't matter what it is, just share it. People are absolutely obsessed with reality TV, and it blows my mind because people can sit in a room and chat and people are glued to it, like Big Brother and the dating shows and all those kind of things. Like, people are just glued to reality TV because it's not scripted. It's just people doing certain things, and people, it's unpredictable. Be unpredictable and share more of you and be more authentic. And I guarantee you'll get more engagement because it feels more genuine for people and it feels authentic. When you put a mask on and you try to be somebody that you're not, people will see through that. So just, that, can you see a common theme here? Those of you that are listening, the authenticity and the genuineness. And sometimes you have to stop overthinking your business and just show up more. Awesome. Thank you, Teresa. Miss Yvette, what have you got to share with us?
All right. Hey, everybody. I have to share with you tonight that I believe will give you a lot of engagement on social media. Keep the social in social media. Mm-hmm. And what do I mean by that? We all know what it is to be social. We all want to be social, but people come to social media for so many different reasons. Most of what we come to social media for is the entertainment. We love to be entertained. We love the movement. We love the colors. We love, the jokes. We want to see behind the scenes and all that good stuff. But what happens to us when we get over on the business side, we feel like we cannot be social. Well, I'm here tonight to let you know you can be social over there. Because when people come to social media, they want to see you, of course. They want to get to know you, like you, and trust you if they're going to do business with you. So they want to know a little bit about you, a little bit about your family, about the dog, the cat, what's going on with that motor car that parked up behind you, and even that piano that Cherie talked about, that grand, that baby grand piano that she talked about that she never played. People want to know. That's why they ask. And so we want to build a relationship. We want to let people know who we are, what we stand for, what we do here. We come here to do business, but at the same time, we want to let them know that we are real. We are real persons. We have issues. We have struggles. We we have the goofy side of us. We got stuff going on, we come and we smile and we carry on and we just bubbly with the energy. But we do have lives outside of here that make us cringe sometimes. We're like, oh my goodness. And so keeping this in social media will help all of us, not only business owners, but even just helping people who come along just for some help. People want to know that, okay, if I come to social media on a particular page, I'm going to get something that's going to help me with my situation, going to help me solve the problem that I'm having. So I'm going to come. So be genuine, create those connections, build those relationships, and share you. We talked about that just a while ago. Share yourself, share you. Life is what it is, as busy as we are, people want to know that, oh yeah, if I come, then I'll hear something. I'll be inspired, entertained. I'll learn something that I can go and solve a problem down the road. But yeah, bring back that fun. I share all the time, even about my part of my business here on social media, the lifestyle. People want to know where you been, where you gone now, Yvette, where did you go? Because I posted pictures, I post what we're doing, I do the live videos, and they'll be like, did you leave me again? Yeah, I did. So come on next time. So keep the social media for you to get that engagement that you want. Let people know who you are, of course, the authenticity, but at the same time, let them know a little bit about you. That's your story, and keep it going. Thank you.
And it's also not being afraid to share, the downtimes as well. I mean, I really second guessed a couple of days ago when I put on my personal profile of showing the pictures of me in hospital. And it's like, oh, what's this going to attract? And is this just like a woe is me? And like, I didn't want it to come across that way. But I thought, no, I'll share it because I've got a message behind it about looking after yourself. I just had a look there while Yvette was talking. And this includes my own replies as well. But that's got 163 comments. Okay. If I go to the one above it, where I'm actually strategically sharing about a product in my business, whatever. And my call to action was to reach out to me privately, and most people did. 5 comments. So my point in case is when you share more about you, the good, bad, the ugly, whatever's going on, that's what people connect with you for. Yes, we're going to bring in posts about products or a business opportunity done in an attraction marketing way. Like, if you've been around me for a while, my whole mantra is to be a human before a marketer. But I'm always going to post about the products that I use and recommend. I'm going to post about the business opportunity that I'm in, invite people to have a look. Because I'm in the industry, like with you, like every one of you, I'm in the industry building myself. Everything I teach you guys, I learn myself. But they won't get as much engagement. But if you've got posts all around it that are getting more engagement, then they're more likely to see the posts of yours that are more strategic or product placed or business placed or something like that. If you're not sharing you and getting the bigger engagement posts, your algorithm is slowly dying, basically. So you need the posts that are going to get a lot of engagement. You need to share more of you. You need to share the good things and the bad things and all those kind of things to be more relatable as a human being. So then when you consistently share and dot in, posts about a product you're using or a recommendation or a testimonial or something like that, people may not engage as much. It's just the way that it is. But they are looking and they are seeing. So the more engagement you can get regarding this being the social, like Yvette's saying, be social on social media, the more eyeballs you'll get on the other stuff. If you're not doing the other stuff and you're not being social on social media, then when you do put all that time and effort into writing an amazing curiosity post like I talked about yesterday here, no one's watching because your algorithm's crap because you haven't had anything that anybody's engaging with at any time. That also could be the size of your audience. So if you've got a really, really small audience and they're the wrong people, guess what you need to go and do? You need to go and make some new friends. And friend request new people every day and build up that audience, engage with that audience, and then it'll grow from there. Okay? I hope this is helpful to those of you that are listening and those that catch the replay as well. Christina, what is your tip for us today?
Thank you, Helen. And all of these tips have been so wonderful. But you know what? Before I get into this, I'm going to say, Helen, what you just said about making friends and drawing your tribe, I'm going to just kind of piggyback off of that because
Sure.
when I came onto social media, I was new. And to be honest with you, I entered into a new part of my life. I'm a husky mom and I was an empty nester. Very new thing for me. So if I was going to show up authentic, I needed to find out, well, who am I talking to? And people want to feel like you're talking to them. And so in order for me to do that, I actually had to take some time to research myself. Like who am I? And who can I speak to directly? And so I had to research. And there's many ways you can do that. You could do it on pages, you can do it through groups, you could even Google keywords to kind of find out where that person that you want to speak to and the message that you want to have reach them, how you can formulate and really speak to that person. So you want to use, so when you do a post or you're doing a video, you want to use the word you instead of you guys, so that people feel like you are speaking directly to them. Like maybe they're the only one in the room, like you're sitting around a kitchen table and you're speaking directly to them. And in order to do that, if you had a best friend come over and they were sitting there, you're going to know a little bit about them. And if you didn't, you wouldn't know what to talk about. You might be off somewhere, talk about something they could care less about. So they're not going to engage with you. They're not going to correspond. And so when I did that, I found that that helped me to be relatable to them. And then they start engaging. And in those engagements, other people see those things as well. And so that creates even more engagement. I found that in engagement, it kind of recreates more because it brings others out.
Yeah.
So that was super helpful. And two, when people can start relating with you because you have done that research and you're speaking directly to them, they go, oh, that's me. And when they feel like you've gotten into their head because you've done that, you're speaking directly to them, they feel closer to you. And then they really, sometimes it takes several touches before they are going to maybe engage with you. But if you keep going and you keep speaking to them, they start warming up. And then eventually they're going to be engaging with you more and more and more. And they're going to have that know, like, and trust with you. And that's going to build your following. So that has been some of my tricks because, and it took me a little while to figure that out, but it's working and I'm coming around to that. So that was one of the things that I learned that I am implementing. So that's my tip for you.
Thank you, Christina. Great sharing there. And you hit the nail on the head with the know, like, and trust. Like the more that you share and authentically and, about you and being social, all the things that we've talked about already, it builds the know, like, and trust, and people buy things off people they trust. People will go into business with people that they know, like, and trust. So the more that you share about you and who you're talking to and what your interests are, and just the strangest things will connect you with people. I put something in my stories a little while ago. We've got cows out the back. And I just took a picture. I was taking Harley for a walk. Harley's my dog. And I just took a picture of the cow and Harley, like, facing off. It's just like, this one's a lot bigger than you, buddy. Like, what are you going to do here? And they're facing each other off. And somebody messaged me and said, oh, have you got cows? We've got cows too. And blah, 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 blah. And it just started this whole new conversation. Like the strangest things that you think are nothing. I was literally just taking Harley for a walk around the house. But I just pulled out my camera and was like, oh, that's funny. They're huge. Harley's small. Just nothing. Just, the nothingness in your day could actually be a lot of things that you can share. And when people get to know, like, and trust you just as a human being, that's when the business will come. The money will come. The more you share, the more people, so volume of people, and those volume of people getting to know, like, and trust you, the business conversations will come. If you haven't got enough content out there, that's going to let you down. If you haven't got enough authentic content out there to really let people get to know, like, and trust you, that's going to let you down. So sometimes sometimes people are overthinking their content. Just share more. Some of the most successful network marketers I know just share a hell of a lot of stuff on social media just about their day and things that they're doing. And they just throw in, every now and then something about a product or something that's happening in their business. But largely, for the most part, 80%, if not more, they're just sharing what they're doing and what they're learning and stuff like that. But people are glued to them because it's interesting. People are curious about what you're up to. You may not think they are, but people are curious about people in general. What are they up to? I've shared this many a time here, but I always get more views on my live videos because people are so used to me sitting here when I'm in the car with Paul and the boys, and I'll show Paul's face. And it's like, oh, is that what her husband looks like? Oh, he does look younger than her. Yes, my husband is 5 years younger than me. Everybody. Now you know. Oh, are the boys growing up? Yes, they're teenagers. They're growing into young men. It's scary. But people that know me, that have been around me for a while, like, man, look at how much the boys have grown up. Like, people are interested in that kind of stuff. And it's nothing really. It's just that I'm going somewhere and I'm in a different environment. I can't sit here and, you just share. So just share. Okay, I want to check on a question here before I go to you, Laurie. So, is it Silverline? I don't know if I'm pronouncing that properly, but it's beautiful. So, I'm not sure though, but in my experience doing lives frequently, it just seems like the reach is getting much smaller lately. So, learning all I can learn to increase the engagement. So, thank you all so much. Good observation. We are in I'll just call you Lynn. Is that what you go by? Just put yes if that's what you go by. Hang on, well, now I've thrown myself. Where's the comment? I've just distracted myself. Okay. Social media is really, really busy. This is why engagement is so important. You've got to track your numbers though. And some of you might only be on a personal profile, which is fine. You're not going to get a lot of insights, but you are going to get the numbers of views. So you could talk about something and look at the views, and then talk about something next week, look at the views and see what connected with people, more. So you can still evaluate from your engagement by comments and who hit the love button and, the matter of the number of views and those kind of things. So you can still do a little bit of evaluation on a personal profile. But here's the thing. I mean, showing up live is the fastest way for people to get to know, like, and trust you. If you turn up and waffle on and, you're there for like an hour, people will switch off when you don't have the audience to justify that. But if you get on, share something valuable or entertaining or inspiring, or, all the things I went through in the content creation bootcamp last week is, if you've got a good variety of content, not everyone will catch every live video or things that you do, but when you do share, that is showing your personality, and that's where the human connection comes from. Anything you can do to build your human connection, and live video is one of the best ways that you can do that. Just my recommendation regarding how many live videos, if you've only got a small audience, maybe only do one a week. But just be consistent at it. Choose the same time of day, same day of the week, and just get consistent, because when you're consistent, people will consistently show up with you. If you've got a bigger audience, go live twice a week. And if you've got a business page, different kind of conversation. But going live is one of the best things that you can do. And yes, it is harder and harder and harder, to go back to your point, where the organic reach is less, but you don't want to use that as an excuse to stop. You've got to show up to get the audience. If you think, reach is lower, I'll stop, then you've given up. You've stopped. I'm not saying that's what you're doing, but, don't use that as an excuse to stop, because somebody's always watching. Laurie, take us home. Last point. What do you got for us?
So my tip is figuring out how to get into the conversation that your audience and your prospect is already having with themselves. I heard this from somebody here a while back, and when we can pay attention enough to the reactions that we're getting, the interactions, the comments, all of that on what we do post, and be able to get inside those conversations with them and address what they're speaking to themselves, we will resonate with those people. I know you talk about it. I talk about it. Mel Robbins, she speaks what we all think, right? She doesn't feel like getting out of bed. She feels like crap. She looks like crap. She makes stupid faces when she's trying to take a picture out of an airplane window. But she's not afraid to share that, and it makes it relatable. It makes me feel like I have a connection with her because I feel like she's getting into the conversation that I'm already having in my head. And that, along with being consistent, that's probably good, bad, ugly, whether you've got it all shinied up or it's messy as hell. Consistency will probably get you the most engagement at the end of the day. So that's my tip.
Yeah, and I'd have to agree with that. Even consistency unbusiness related. Just being consistently showing up, consistently put things in your stories. You know, we're all busy. We've all got, you know, life happens a lot. Sometimes you'll be better than others. But if for the most part you're consistent on your profile, you're consistent in stories, some of you may be consistent with reels. If you've got a business page, being consistent on the business page. Just going back to the, it's Silver Lynn, I think is the correct pronunciation there. You did say you're checking your insights and you have a fan page. So what's really important with a fan page is to get creative about getting more eyeballs on that fan page. Yes, on a fan page, you can use paid strategies to boost a post or, you know, things like that. But, you know, depending what the topic is you talked about, you could put something on your personal profile. And this is what I call framing. So those of you with a business page, you talk about something, the engagement is down, the reach is down on business pages. Yes, that's true. But you could go on your personal profile and say, for my friends that are, you know, struggling with weight loss or building a business online or, you know, whatever, just frame the post. I did a live video just before which talked about XYZ. I'll put the link in the comments below. If that's relevant to you, you may want to catch the replay. Like, push out on your personal profile and put a screenshot, go back to your live, take a screenshot and put it in your stories. For those of you that are struggling with XYZ, go and catch my live video over on my business page. There are probably people that don't even know you've got a business page. So you can promote your business page in other channels, but just frame it. So when I'm promoting something business related on my personal profile, and it might be something that I'm doing for this community here, and it might be like last week was the Content Creation Bootcamp. I know that my friends and family aren't going to be anywhere near interested in that. So the post that I put on my personal profile is for my entrepreneur friends or my digital marketing friends or any of my friends that are building a business online. This may be helpful for you. And then I put the post that I want to put it. So I'm basically saying to my friends or my cousins or, you know, whatever, if this isn't you, stop reading. I'm not trying to get to you. I'm trying to get to the people that want to see it. And if you do want to see it, take advantage of it. It's free. So that's what I call framing. So you can still use your personal profile to boost like a business page, just, you know, use it sparingly, but use it properly by framing. Okay. So lots of awesome examples. And thank you, Laurie. There's a lot of us in my community here that love Mel Robbins because she's so raw. Most of us would not do what Mel Robbins does. And that's why Mel Robbins is Mel Robbins and we are who we are. You know, she does pull out her phone when she's in bed. How many of you would go live when you've just woken up? No, I bet you wouldn't. She will. She'll just put her glasses on and she'll say, I don't feel like getting up. I don't feel like getting up. But 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, I've got to get up. Because I've got this and this and this and this. So just 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, get yourselves up. Like it could be like a few minute video, but she's sharing her raw, vulnerable self. You know, let's do a little bit more of that. And I guarantee you'll get more engagement. Let the walls down, people. Let the walls down. Let people in. Let them know, like, and trust you and connect with you for who you are as a human being, not what you do for a living. When you connect with much more, you know, many more people, because you're always building your network, and those people know, like, and trust you, the conversations will come for your business, and then those conversations will lead to more money. But all of that is what leads to more engagement. Now, Dana is not pulling her camera out when she's just getting out of bed. That's okay. I don't think I would either. I'd love to be able to be that gutsy, but I don't know if I could either. But that's just walls. Like Christina's saying, it's just, we've got walls up because, shock horror if somebody could see what we look like when we wake up first thing in the morning. They're just walls. We're too worried about what other people think of us. And every single one of us has work to do on that. That's just reality. So we've talked long enough. We need to jump off. I just hope there's something in this discussion for those of you that have been online with us live or that catch the replay later, that there's something that we've said in this discussion today about increasing your engagement that just enables you to be a bit more bold, or enables you to let some walls down, or enables you to share a little bit more in your stories about who you are and what you enjoy doing, and being a bit more vulnerable and authentic when you do that. Okay, so I want to thank these amazing people that I work very closely with in their businesses for sharing their tips with me today. We are all in the industry, as are you, doing these things. So we're here sharing what's working for us. So I really hope this was beneficial. Do you want to say goodbye, guys? Just unmute for a second and say goodbye.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye-bye, guys.
Thank you to my amazing guests, and thank you for you guys for being, watching this training today. And I really hope that was helpful. I just want to clarify, next week, the US and Canadians, I believe as well, your times change. Your clocks change next week, which means the time of my live is going to be an hour earlier than what you're used to now. So I believe that's 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern for those of you in the US as of next week. So if you turn up an hour later, I would have already been and gone. So I'll put notices out everywhere, but just there is a time zone change. So, we're in a global community here, and at various times things change. So watch out for that next week. Okay. So thanks for being here, everybody, and we will see you next week. And thank you to my guests. Bye-bye.